I have been looking forward to sharing this very special video with you guys for weeks now. Welcome, folks, ladies and gentlemen, flora and fauna, to the world's greatest card trick lecture. It's an online virtual lecture. Now, when I say the world's greatest card trick lecture, I don't mean it's the greatest lecture on card tricks. I mean it is a lecture all about a crash course, a deep dive into what many expert magicians believe to be the world's greatest card trick. I'm talking about none other than, you shouldn't drink before these lectures, none other than the ambitious card. You might be familiar with, if you are not familiar with, if you were to ask most professional magicians around the world, what is one of your most, if not your most performed card trick, they will tell you it's the ambitious card. What's the ambitious card? It's everything. It's a possibility, it's a canvas upon which expert magicians do a zillion things. The primary idea is that a selected and signed playing card comes to the top of the pack again and again, making the trick more and more and more impossible. Now, on today's lecture, we're going to cover a whole bunch of stuff, okay? We're going to cover first we're going to jump in just a moment, and I'm going to share with you some of the secrets to my favorite and most used double lifts. Now, if you already think you know what a double lift is, you probably own a little basic idea. This is going to be sharing some of the really important, all-important, game-changing details on some of my favorite double lifts, the small points that can make a big difference. So I'm going to be sharing those on this video. Then I'm going to be sharing with you a flourish. Very cool little flourish. It's a one-handed card magic flourish that can really add a little bit of sizzle to your ambitious card routine. Okay, we're going to look at that. Then I'm going to be looking at something I call the twirl change sequence. Now, if you're familiar with the twirl change, then don't think you know this, because this is something I've incorporated into my ambitious card many times. It's a very pretty sequence. You're probably not familiar with it. I want you to know the secret to that twirl chain sequence. Then we're going to look at something I call the unavoidable card. The unavoidable card is a very cool thing to start your ambitious card, or in the middle, or you can even close your ambitious card with this. And hidden within the secrets I'm going to share with you on the unavoidable card is an any card at any number technique that's really elegant. Very straightforward, very simple. A lot of this stuff you're going to find that there's a level of skill. Some of it's very easy, some of it a bit more advanced, okay? Really want to make this virtual online lecture very special with broad appeal for all my fans. All right, then we're going to look at the top change in the second deal, okay? The top change is one of the most misunderstood card techniques in the world. I think it's time that more of my fans really understood how easy it is, but how important a couple of details are. So top change and the second deal. Second deal, these two techniques are great for the ambitious card, okay? And finally, and near the end of the lecture here, today I'm going to reveal the secrets, all in this one video, to not one, but two of my favorite ways to finish, to close my ambitious card. I'm going to share the secrets of that, perform, and do all that. That's all happening here, as well as I want to celebrate this online virtual lecture with a magic pack. And as you guys know, when I say I have a package deal, I really have a package deal. The package deal is going to involve exclusive tutorials, a 2-hour download, a full-length companion DVD, because I know a whole bunch of, not all my fans, but a bunch of them love to have a hard copy just for their library rather than clogging up with it down. Just a hard copy they can have forever, okay? So I know a lot of you appreciate the value of that. So the DVD, as well as 2 wonderful free bonus gifts. Altogether, the Magic Pack value on this project, the Ambitious Card Project, is going to be a $95 value. I was going to sell it to you guys. I figured half off's great, or more and more. It's going to be for $34.95. So you're going to have a chance to save a whole bunch of money, okay? That's it. Last thing before we jump right in here is that you're going to see today, I decided, because this whole project is based around my extremely ambitious project. It's one of my best-selling projects for many years. So I'm going to be sharing clips with you from that project. So if it looks like, hey, Jay's looking a bit younger, a bit leaner, a bit more spry, it's not that I went back in a time machine, okay? It's not like I did that. That's what I wanted to explain to you. This is from one of my best-selling projects for many years, okay? Without any further ado, let's jump right in now. Right now, right here, right now, I'm going to cover 3 or 4 different kinds of double lifts. I'm sure one of which will be in your skill level, And they all have their different virtues and looks for sure. Here we go. Let's take a look. The double lift. The double lift I tend to use the most is what's called a strike double. Okay. And I think I first learned this from a John Mendoza book a long time ago, and it's one of these things that comes down to a knack, where there's no get ready. You come over, you hit, and the idea is that as you hit, you kind of immediately, the cards are spreading, and you immediately get, if you get lucky, you can feel right away, oh, I got 2, okay? And notice, the deck isn't square, it's actually beveled. You push it a little bit to one side in your hand. It's pushed off a little bit, which makes the edges of the cards, you can get to them better. You can feel that, okay? Now, sometimes you feel, oh my God, I got 4, 3 or 4, and what you have to do is you have to kind of open up the gap a little bit to let one card flip off, okay? And you'll find that. But again, I mean, when you're not performing for an unblinking camera, when you're performing for real people, you can, they are there. I can cover myself. I can gesture and turn a little bit here, and now I can, you know, with the angle of it, and it's all back here, even if I have to take 2 times to get to it, I'll still get to it. Then I come back around and I'm turning, okay? So that's the one I use by far and away the most. It's a strike double where you got 2, firm thumb on top, fingers below, you turn it over, and typically when you turn over, when you turn it over and you lay it down on the thumb, the flesh of the thumb right here, because you're actually turning it over, it's hitting not square onto the deck, but a little bit on the flesh, the base of the thumb, which means that it keeps a break, which means that if I just bevel it like this now and let the fingers off, it's already ready for another turnover. That way, I can start with no get ready, turn over the top card, and turn it back over, okay? Nice, relaxed look to it. And again, unless you want to be a superstar, tilt your hand down a little bit, so there's less chance of the front edge of doubles card. So that's the strike double. The other one I've used a lot is a double 2-card push-off. Looks like this, where you're coming over here, pushing off. It's got a nice look to it, and what you're doing is, the key is there against the base of the thumb, where you're pushing off, and you get 2 cards spread, and then when you pull back with your thumb, they kind of square. You're going to pull back with your thumb. The tip of your middle right finger is going to hit the corner, and they're going to square up. So it's push, contact, pull back, and square. Push off, finger connects, you pull back, and you're immediately going to turn off the base of the thumb. Okay? This, I'd say, depends on your hands. Some would find this easier, some would find it harder, but it allows for a nice crisp double, that's for sure. Okay, that's a double push-off. When you're a younger magician, typically what you do is you're using get-readies. And in this case, again, we're going to get ready for a double lift. While your hands come together, all you do here is the right thumb. You could even the right thumb riffles up the back edge of the pack until you get 1, 2 riffling off. And then you know you have your double, fingers on the front, thumb there, and you show like that. Okay? It looks more controlled, it looks less natural for sure, but it's still very deceptive. And if you're just starting out in magic, it's not a bad double lift to go with. Okay? The other one I use a lot is where I take a card off and I flick it for a second. I put my finger up here and down. Okay? Take it, finger flick. And while my hand's turning over, I just push off the top card a little bit and then pull it back, get a break with a pinky. Push it off, pull it back, you got a break. So off it comes. Put it right back on, and you always get it. Nice thing about that is there's no fudging around. It comes off, you know you only have 1 card, because it's easy to push off 1 and get a break under 1, and now you're going to have 2.
So there you have it. As promised, some really valuable, to-the-point information on double lifts. A lot of magicians I don't think they understand that unless you're handling your double lift, unless you're very comfortable and you really have no thought around it, you have it down perfectly, you will get busted. It's one of these weird things that audiences don't even think. When you do it well, you can destroy people with a double lift. They just never seem to think of the 2-card idea. But at the same time, if you don't do it really well and really confidently, then you're going to get busted. Okay? So practice those until you find one you really like, and then stick to that. Make that your double lift. All right, next up, what do we got here? Oh yeah, the one-hand turnover. This is a very sweet flourish. Some of you will be familiar with it, some of you won't. But without further ado, let me jump in and share this really cool 1-card flourish with my fans.
This is a nice little thing. At one time when the card comes up to the top, turn over with 1 hand. And so you're going to push off with the thumb. And there's your grip. It's actually a little like the classic pass, I guess. These 2 fingers here. And
you'll find, now this is I learned this years ago, okay? And it was so maddening because I had a girlfriend at the time who would, I showed it to her and she got it down before I did. It was just one of those moves that she had some knack for. Took me a while, but pushing it off, clipping between this finger and that finger, okay, I guess it's the third and fourth finger. And the first 20 times or first 100 times you'll do it, it'll be awkward. But eventually, the hand learns how to do it without even thinking about it. And then it's really quite nice.
All right, next up, I want to share with you this twirl change sequence. As I mentioned on the video clip, the twirl change is a great change. Lots of places to use it. But the fact that it sets you up in an ambitious card context really has a beautiful boom, boom power to it. So I'm excited to share this with you guys because I know even if you know the twirl change, a lot of you will not already be applying this particular technique in your ambitious card, and it really is a next level idea, okay? However, before we jump in there, I want to just share a little bit more information with you about my extremely ambitious project. So this is part of the package deal. We've seen a few clips from this. It's a 2-hour download. Okay, so 2-hour download, tons of stuff. I've created for all skill levels. Okay, so even if you're a total beginner, you will learn stuff on this project. If you're more advanced, there's tons there. The product is broken down into sort of a whole bunch of slices techniques, and then opening phases for your ambitious card, then middle, and then killer closers. All right, there's a whole bunch of closing tricks on that as well. I'm also, as a bonus, and I know a bunch of you more advanced Magic students are going to love this, I reveal the secrets in great detail to 5 of my most performed passes. You got the classic pass, you got the jiggle pass, you got the turn. So this is the real work on these passes, and I really worked hard to do them justice because they're amazing. I've been in love with passes forever. So that's a bonus section on this extremely ambitious project. All right, so having told you a little bit more about the downloads you'll be getting and the DVD, the companion DVD that comes with it, let's jump right in right now and look at this twirl change sequence.
The twirl change, or actually as I call it the twirl change, Marlowe's classic move in lieu of Vernon's push through the fist move. That's the real title. It's Marlowe's move. This is Marlowe's move, the twirl change. Now the twirl change is this. Or the in lieu, that crazy long thing, is you take a face-up card and you pick up that card and the card below it. And then as you shake the large action, the finger's going to reach over, pull this over. Okay, you're going to twirl it over is what I call it, twirl. And the, not the middle finger, but the third finger, I guess, or third finger, is going to push down on the edge and twirl over. You combine it all together, you get this nice visual change of the jack changing to the 5. The 5 changing the jack. Okay, the large action. Now, with ambitious, it's really sweet. I'm going to raise myself up over here, Beer, so you can see it better. With ambitious, it's really sweet because if you get the selected card, third from the top, all right? Selected card, third from the top. You go snap. There it is, right? Whoops, that's not the card. You go, look, let's see here. There we go. There's the card like that. Now look, I'll take it, slip it in the middle, and just like that, it comes to the top. So the twirl change, as I call it, sets you up for your double lift. So the card is third from the top, okay? Snap your fingers and go, oh, apparently you missed it, right? Now you're going to pick the block of 3 cards up, shake them, there's the signature, do a double lift, take the card, slip it back in, and again, it comes to the top.
This particular handling I'm going to share with you now is really minimal, really direct. Sometimes I'll start my ambitious card with it. Sometimes put it in the middle of the ambitious card. It's a great segue routine as well. And as I mentioned at the start of this virtual lecture, you're also going to like the fact that kind of hidden within the sequence I'm about to share with you is an any card to any number technique. Okay, that you can apply and it can stand out on its own. By itself, it can be an amazing trick. All right, the selected card or the thought of card appears at any number between 1 and 52. All right, so let's jump right in and take a look at that right now.
Look, we're going to take the signed card. Let's get rid of it. Let's do something else. Let's have another card touched here. Go ahead, touch any one. Doesn't matter. Which one would you like? You're sure?
Yeah.
That one right there. In this case, the signed card. Okay, look. Let's take that. Get rid of that. Cut it somewhere in the pack. Go ahead, touch any one again. Doesn't matter. That one. You're sure?
No.
Okay, touch another one. Doesn't matter.
Okay, this
This one right there. Okay, so in this case, we are dealing with the sign card again. Look. We'll do this. We'll get rid of the sign card. Is that it there? No, good. Name a number between, say, 12 and 20.
18.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right there, we've got the sign card again. I've used this both as an opening kind of, I guess you wouldn't call it an opening ambitious phase, but sort of as a warm-up that they keep finding it as if it's one step down from it keeps coming to the top. I've also used it many a time in the middle. These are 3 phases, 3 quick finds. None of them use a classic force. I've gone through phases where my classic force is pretty strong and other times where it sucks, where I couldn't classic force against, I don't know, a blind horse with double-sided tape on his hoof that kept touching the deck. I just couldn't get there. So neither of these, so none of these use, it's topper, a double lift, and then a countdown, sort of any card or a card at any number handling I came up with several years ago using a biddle steel. So any one of these can be a nice, you throw it in, and again, one of the downsides of ambitious cards sometimes is it's too much of a watch me trick, okay? Too often performer, every phase is watch me, watch, and after a while it can get dull, it can look kind of arrogant, a bit of a show-off thing. It's great if you can sometimes have some phases that really involve spectators. That's what I love about Vernon's with the top change. I also teach on this project. Yeah, so it's nice. In this one, they're very intimately involved, which I like a lot, okay? The 3 phases. Let's see. We've got our sign card here. And here we are, okay? So what's nice about this, too, is you end, it starts with, you don't have to be in a double lift position or anything, just the one card, okay? Drop it on top. Using the double, I use this false cut, the double cut. Apparently cutting it into the middle of the deck, and the whole idea is let's try something else. I want you to touch another card. So it's let's try something else. We're going to take a break from this as if we're going to try to get away, and we're not able to get away from it, okay? So a double cut, it's still on top. I spread through, they touch any card. I'm going to do topper. Frank Garcia's move, topper. Where I square it up, and any card they touch is the sign card. It is such a deceptive force. They can touch any card. It's the sign card. This is the way it would look if you were really going to handle the deck, I think, just like a layperson might to pull out a card. It's very simple. You spread out the cards, out-jog the card. As the fingers tap this in, what I'm going to wrist kill, and this sound adds a lot to the illusion. They touch a card, you out-jog it. Okay? Now, sometimes people ask me, well, what happens? Do they happen simultaneously, the square in and the pull-out? No, I don't think that's physically possible, actually. What happens is I come over and I'm tapping it in, so it goes in, and then the thumb drags off. So that's the first phase. Uses topper, doom, boom, boom. I found your card again. Well, look, let's get rid of it. Let's try it again. I want you to touch another one this time. And again, a false cut. Keep it on top. I spread out. They touch any card, and I'm going to use the spin double lift, which we've already taught here, where you come over, and I'm going to, as I come over, I'm going to push this out, spin it out, put it on top, do the double lift. Boom, we get it again. Boom, it's 2. So 1, 2. The third one is I turn over the double, keeping a little break. Turning over the double, keeping a little break with the flesh of the thumb. I'm going to double undercut this time the card to the bottom of the deck. So the sign card ends up on bottom. Get a little break at the back above the card, and now they can name any number between 8 and, let's say, you don't want like 3 or 4, but pretty much anything above 8 or 10 or 12 is going to work. So as you count, let's say they say 14. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When I count the 14th one, I'm coming over. I'm going to drop the selection, count off the 14th card, drop those or hand those to somebody, come over, immediately do a strike double, and act as if I'm exasperated that the sign card is once again on top. And here's the nice thing again, of course, you're now ready, double lift, you're ready to once again do a beautiful, ambitious phase.
This is, dare I say, the real work on the top change and the second deal. You're going to like the clarity of the explanations. I think it's going to bring a bit of psychology to your understanding of these 2 seminal classic card moves, maybe in a way you haven't seen them before. And just before we jump in, I want to mention something else about the Magic Pack, and that is I'm going to be including Metamorph. Now, Metamorph, you're going to show you a teaser for it in just a second. And what I will say is that it is very easy to do, Metamorph. It looks like real magic.
With it, you can do a whole bunch of things. You can change playing cards. You can change bills. My favorite thing to do with it is to introduce a lottery ticket, right? Lottery ticket, man, I hope I win, whatever. Fold it up, give it a shake. And just by giving it a shake, the lottery ticket visibly changes into a $100 bill, and my hands are absolutely empty, and I can hand out the bill. Okay, this is great. It's a great opening trick for a walk-around situation. It's also for anybody looking for that next crazy, mind-crushing moment for your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever. This definitely metamorph. Check it out. So here's the teaser. Right after the teaser, we're going to jump right into the top change and second deal.
Imagine being able to impossibly change a bill with just a shake of your hand. Metamorph is one of the world's most visual bill transformations. But unlike most other bill changes, after the change, you can show your hands absolutely empty, and you can also slowly show both sides of the bill. And you can also perform the startling change with your sleeves up. And after the change, you can even hand out the bill to be closely examined. But what makes Metamorph truly exceptional is the fact that you can change a bill into a playing card, a lottery ticket into money, or even change one card into another.
Top change is so good. Top change is so good. Top change and second deal. These are two things that I use a lot in my ambitious card work, and I'm just going to cover them. I'll cover them right now. What the heck? Cover them together. Top change. Okay. All I'm going to do. Both hands are going to gesture out. They're going to come in. I'm going to push off one card with my thumb, and in continuing action, I'm going to pull back the other card, and that's all I'm going to do. Now, the top change is definitely one of those moves that you're going to be scared to do. But you'll try it once, hopefully get away with it. Try it again, and then after a while, you'll have the confidence. Now, the key, when I do the top change, it's like this. Two hearts, your right hand, left hand, right hand. Okay, hold out your right hand for me. So both hands, one's a leader hand. It sort of first focus is here on the right card, then it's there, and then I'm boom, and I'm gesturing. So the left hand really moves through. Now, you're seeing the exposed view. If I were trying to work for the camera, that's obviously I don't want to be low here. What I would do is I gesture here, here, and then go right up into the lens. So if you were a spectator looking right down here, I'd say, what the hell are you looking at? No, I'd say, two hearts. I'd say, are you right hand, left-handed? Okay, hold it your right hand for me. And I go right up. Hold it your right hand, boom, and I've done the top change, okay? And there's lots of, you can gesture to someone, you're here, and you can gesture to someone on your left. You're saying, let's try this again. I say, well, you don't look like you believe what I'm doing, So you use that left hand to gesture. You're here, boom, okay? It's that simple. There's nothing fancy about it. It's one of those things that's just about practicing, getting comfortable with changing these two cards. And once you get comfortable enough, incorporating them into some natural body language and performance. Now, the second deal is very similar. Turn over the card, take it in your hand, okay? And you've changed it. Here, changed it. There's the card. I'm going to take it, slip it in the middle of the pack. Okay. Let me show you again. Here, two hearts. Just take it, slip it in the middle. There it is. Okay. It's really nice, especially if they're sitting. If they're sitting, because that way you can raise it above their eye level. And all I'm doing here is pushing it off, taking the card below it. Nothing fancy, okay? It's a timing thing. Now, am I going to take it with my right hand, or is my left hand going to basically put it over there? I'm never sure with myself. I sort of do both. But that's the action, and it's about choosing the moment. Now, notice, too, it doesn't make a lot of sense to take the card off, put it on, and take it off, which is why I like the rollover here, where you go, and it's on top again. Hey, how you doing? Look, let's try this again here. Okay? And I'm doing that continuing action. Both hands come together. So that's it. That's the second deal and the top change. They really work. They give you a whole, and what's nice, with both of them, you can end off with, it's just boom, the cards come to the top, so you're ending with a single. You don't have to get into a double and go into it. They're really elegant, classic changes.
Right now, I'm going to perform and reveal the secrets to one of my very favorite ways to close my ambitious card. All right. Afterwards, because some of you might be familiar with this and having seen it on one of my other projects. However, I want to do a world premiere here in the lecture as well. After I perform and teach this, okay, this trick called imposters, I'm going to share with you my two glasses. I've got two glasses, and I'm going to share with you a way I've been performing this on Zoom, during my Zoom shows, my very own Zoom shows, the way I do it, and how I use two glasses to create more theater and more magic, and really have a final image that's so strong.
All right. So I'm going to perform imposters. I'm going to reveal the secrets to you. Then I'm going to come right back, and you're going to see this really cool, very valuable new addition that I've been performing in my own shows on Zoom. All right. At the same time, we're going to jump into. Oh, that's right. I also want to tell you a little bit about something else in the magic pack here, and it's a trick called Houdini's Ghost. Speaking of drama, it's not a card trick, not a coin trick. It involves two. What look like, they're professionally printed to look like this. They look like two photographs of Houdini that you cut out of a magazine. They've even got text on one side. These are real photos of Houdini, and it's a transposition, all right, that happens between your hand and the spectator's hand. Looks so magical, kind of eerie, super easy to do. The specially printed pictures do all the work. I've been doing it on Zoom, speaking of glasses and things, and on Zoom I perform Houdini's Ghost with one of them in a wine glass. Looks really magical, really sets a tone. So that is going to be part of the pack. Let's jump in and take a very quick look at the teaser for Houdini's Ghost right now. Then we're going to come back, imposters, performance, explanation, and the world premiere of what I do with two glasses that really takes the imposter trick up to another level. You introduce two photographs cut from a Houdini magazine article. One photo is a picture of Houdini bound in locks and chains, and the other is a photo of Houdini's actual gravestone. Every time I introduce them, people want to take a close look at the photos, and thanks to the very cool secret gimmick, they can. The spectator then folds up both photographs and holds one in his closed fist. Then, with just a wave of the magician's hand, the two photos impossibly change places. I love that it's not a card trick, it's not a coin trick, and even though the two photos take up almost no pocket space, when they're unfolded, the trick plays big. Watch, we're going to take your signed card. I'm going to do this very slowly. I'm going to take it, slip it inside my pocket, okay? We'll get back to that in a second. Now, every deck of cards has a few cards that are very good at doing impressions, all right? We're going to see which the first card we're going to go with is going to be the Nine of Hearts. He does very good impressions, watch. Just rub the Nine of Hearts and look. That's a great impression. I mean, that 9 looks exactly like your sign 2. The 9 did a good job. Let's see what the next card's going to be, the 7 of Diamonds. Watch, just rub, and you'll see the 7 of Diamonds also does a really good impression. The 9 did a good impression. The 7 does a good impression. Let's see what else. Oh, 4 of Spades. 4 of Spades is very good. I bet you the 4 of Spades gets the color, gets this. I mean, it's all 3 cards did a really good job. Now, of course, if I want, I can just snap my fingers and all 3 cards, and that's because your signed card, of course, is still inside my pocket. This is definitely one of my favorite middling phases because there's lots of magic. Boom, 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 color change, color change, color change, and then you're set to go right on into your ambitious card from there. You can do a few phases of ambitious card, go into imposters, boom, and go on from there. You can end your ambitious card with this if you want. It's all up to you, all right? And of course, based on the stuff you've already learned, you know it's a few double lifts and the Ordinate's color change. That's it. To get into it, you need to be in a second or a double lift position. You've done your double lift to show the card. Turn it back over and slowly take the card. Don't rush this part because this is important that they get a visual log of what happens. You can either put this down on the table or you can do it one-handed depending on the length of your shirt here. I like to do this though and really emphasize. And this is just an indifferent card going in the pocket. All right? Take your time. Make sure that registers. Come over. Spread out the cards face up. I like this. I think this looks very fair, spreading them out face up. Of course, you don't want to flash the card on bottom. Spread them out, say in every pack. There's a few that do impressions. Let's see if we can find. Now you're going to do your double lifts. Now there are a few double lifts back to back, so you definitely want to have a confident double lift. Do a double lift. Talk about doing impressions. You're going to do the Ordinate's Houdini color change. Wham. Real magic. Comment, I like to make comments that it's a pretty good impression. Maybe not perfect. Maybe the signature isn't perfect and you know, maybe the color's a little off on the red. These kinds of comments as if it's maybe not quite perfect, okay? Turn the double over. Drop the card, the indifferent card on the table. Come back over, do another double lift. What's nice about this structure is every time you're doing a double lift, you're showing you're not only showing the other a new card, but you're showing that, of course, the sign card isn't still there. So rather than cutting between them, I think there's a lot to be said for just going double lift, double lift. So you can do another Houdini, Erdnase Houdini color change, okay? Another double lift turnover, dropping another indifferent card, and then you go right into another double lift, okay? So it really sells that each card that's going down is somehow the signed card. A third and final Erdnase color change, boom. Turn over the double. Transfer the deck from one hand to the other, and the moment you snap your fingers is when you do one hand top palm, okay? Which we've taught somewhere else in this project. So you're here, you're there. This hand is out of focus, okay? So there's no heat on this, it's out of focus. You turn, you turn, you turn, and on the third turn, you immediately transfer the deck to the other hand. Put your hand down inside the pocket. Take this out, make sure they get an image of it coming back out, pause a beat, and show the sign card. Like I said, it's definitely one of my favorite middling phases. The structure, so it really works very nicely, boom to boom. The one-hand top palm misdirection works really well. And then, like I said, you can go right into it. You can either end your ambitious card with that, a lot of magic going on, or go right into another phase. I'm going to come over, cover my hand. I'm going to cover the card. And when I come down onto the card, I'm sort of moving forward a little bit, and I'm actually going to push the top card forward. In real performance, what is that? That's about 3/4 of an inch. Now, when you're practicing this, though, give yourself a break. Push it out for an inch, okay? When you're just practicing, so you get it. Then the heel of the hand, okay, contacts the two, and with my fingers closed, I'm going to slide back until and I'm going to push down on the end of it so that I'm going to feel when it clears, okay? Then I'm going to move forward, and as I move forward, as I get near the end of the push, the left first finger squares it all up. So that's the action. Here it is with the fingers spread, so you get a sense of it. Here it is when the fingers close. So it's one of these moves. Now, when you're practicing it, stay very linear, okay? Stay very forward and back, okay? So you can get a hang of it. And then once you get it down, what you want to do is introduce a little bit more of a circular action. I think, you show that you rub, show the hand, rub again, circular action. I think the circular action adds a lot and really undercuts anybody's, even on an unconscious level, theory about you changing cards. So that's the Erdnase color change, okay? A really beautiful move. Lots of stuff you can do with that, from color changes, the deck change from red to blue, all these other different things. Regarding the ambitious card, you got the selected card on top of the deck, okay? You're going to do, let's say you're going to do whatever. I'll do a strike double. You're here, you do a strike double, showing it's not on top. Do the Erdnase color change, boom, changes. You're immediately set up for your double lift. Put it in, do that. Either snap your fingers, or you can echo the same action again, like that. And again, it comes up on top.
Now, as promised, here's the world premiere of my 2 glasses version of Imposters. You just saw me perform the trick. Then I taught the Erdnase color change. I wanted to make sure you had that here as part of this lecture, so it was a complete lecture. Now, instead of doing it 3 times, and I drop 3 indifferent cards on the table, what I've been doing on Zoom is doing it with just 2 cards. And I have 2 glasses. I use glasses a lot on Zoom, okay? It keeps everything off the flat table and brings it to life. Also, I love the fact that a glass can contain something, so you kind of can't get at it, but it also keeps things propped up. All right, so here's what I do, the variation on it. I've apparently put the card in my pocket. We know that, and now I do my double lift. Let's say we'll do that, showing a king of spades. We do the Erdnase, and after I do the change, boom, rather than putting the card on the table, I turn the double over, okay, and I drop the card in a glass. So number 1 card isolated, okay. Cool way to isolate the signed card or the card that mimics the signed card. Then we know we do a double lift, again, to show another indifferent card, okay, and I usually lean right into the camera, of course, for Zoom. Change the card again, I got a second card here. Again, you double lift that one. Now look what you have. So these 2 cards, because 3's a lot, so these 2 cards are isolated in the glass there like that. They think the card's in the pocket. I come over here, snap my fingers. As I snap, as we know, you could one-hand top palm, or you could 2-hand palm as well, okay? 2-hand palm, hold the deck, snap like this. Then what I do is this, and this works so well for if you have no hair in your head, but even a forehead, is I go to my pocket, I take out the card, okay? And then I show here, there's the card, right? Then I take the card, lick it, or if I want to slap it on the head here, and clink these 2, and turn and show the change. Look at the drama on that.
rather than just turning the 3 cards over, and the timing, the sign card, and then as a kicker, so you get that. So that is what I've been doing on Zoom. Perfect applause break, and really strong theater right there. Okay, here we are. The last final trick I'm excited to share with you. This is probably one of the most dramatic ways I've ever created to end ambitious card. It involves an image, as I'll show you and talk about it in just a second. It involves an image that audiences absolutely will remember for the rest of their lives, okay? You are going to love this trick. It's a little bit of a DIY. You are going to destroy a deck of cards, but you can use it again and again, so you're going to love it. However, just before I perform and reveal the final trick of this virtual lecture, let me tell you a little bit more about the Magic Pack, okay? I've been telling you a little bit along because I got another free gift I want to mention to you. So, first thing you get with the Magic Pack is you get the exclusive link to this lecture, because this is only available for a few days. It's going to be gone, and that's it, okay? So you're going to get the link to this lecture, so that alone is worth, obviously, a lot of value right there. You also get the 2-hour Extremely Ambitious download and the DVD. And don't forget that when you check out the preview on the Sankey Magic site, don't forget, it also includes detailed work on 5 of my favorite passes. That alone is worth a lot of money, and I know it's going to be a great interest to a lot of you, all right? You also get the full-length companion DVD, all right, with that, because a lot of you love a hard copy of that. You get the Metamorphosis transformation. You get the gimmick and the tutorial with that, okay? Now, all of that there is a $60 value altogether. The download, the DVD, the Metamorphosis, the exclusive link to lecture, altogether, that's a $60 value for just $34.95. All right, so you're going to save 25 bucks, boom, like that. But then you're also going to get the free gift of Houdini's Ghost, right? That's another 20 bucks on that, the full color, specially printed, and the tutorial for that. And finally, I want to throw in another free gift. The second free gift is Pandora's Box. Now, Pandora's Box is this very cool gimmick that you can put inside literally any card case in the world. It hides inside, okay? And the gimmick is in there, okay? You can even have a full deck of cards completely inside, even though the gimmick's inside. It's so small and so cool. However, whenever you want, you can shake the deck and you can hear something rattling around inside. A coin, a finger ring. There's so many cool tricks. So definitely, again, check out the preview at sankeymagic.com, okay, for Pandora's Box. I'm going to include that as well. That's another $35 value into the pack. Still for just $34.95. So you're going to save 60 bucks. It's a $95 total on this pack, okay, for just $34.95. That's all the information. I think you'll agree it's a heck of a deal. As always, we have limited supply on this stuff. Every single time I go on YouTube and I do one of these kinds of lectures, we burn through whatever we have in stock in the first couple of days, and then a couple of days after that, we are flooded with emails. Do you have any left? Something back. We will not. So snooze or lose on this one, all right? All right, let's go into this last one. This final trick is a real mind buster. I know you're going to love it. And again, thank you so much for spending time with me online here. I love Ambitious Card. It has paid the bills for me for a long time, like many professional magicians. So I really hope this lecture has helped you take your own existing Ambitious Card to a new level, or lucky you, maybe it's going to inspire you to finally start sharing the Ambitious Card with friends and family. It's truly a classic trick for a very good reason. Here we go, final trick of the lecture. Thank you so much. If you're looking for a really, really, really dramatic ending for your Ambitious Card, this might be it. Sign card. Say, look, slip it in the middle, snap my fingers, look, it comes up to the top. Say, look, we'll do it again. Take it, slip it in the middle, snap my fingers, it comes up to the top again. Say, we can keep doing this again and again, but to me the amazing thing is not so much that it keeps coming to the top, but the fact that we can even get your card into the middle of the deck. I mean, given that there's 2-inch nails driven through the entire pack. I have played around with Paul Harris's great idea, Solid Deception, for a long time, come up with many different things with it. And this is, I think, the most commercial thing. I did release something with a bolt, actually, with a bolt and especially punch deck through Elmwood Magic. And it has real virtues of its own, too. However, I found the bolt, because of the length of the bolt and this and that, it kind of caught in the pocket a lot and this and that. And this is something you can make yourself, okay? Get a deck of cards, wrap it in masking tape, okay? Get 4, 5, or 6 nails. They should be only a little bit longer than the side of a deck. And with the deck wrapped in masking tape, hammer the nails through the deck. Best thing to do, you'll find it's very fudgy. So the thing to do is you should use just a few strikes, very hard strikes, drive it down through. Then, and you should have this on top of a few layers of cardboard, a folded cardboard box. You don't want to hammer directly into your floor. Or if you have a buddy, if you put the deck on your buddy's back, you don't want to hurt him either. And then you're going to get a hammer and flatten. Take a good look at that. You're going to hammer down the ends of the nails off to left and right. And this is something that sits here. So this is Paul Harris's Solid Deception. However, Solid Deception, where all the cards were glued together, and what you had was this moment at the end where you said, go ahead to a spectator, cut the cards, and they found that the deck was solid. But I tried it once, and a spectator tried to actually busted the deck open with a cloud of dry glue dust and everything. And the ghost of Christmas Nevers. There wasn't a visual component. It was purely tactile. There wasn't a visual component. This has a nice visual component. You need this. You're obviously going to switch in this deck at some point. And one indifferent card. Okay? Voila. Ordinary deck of cards, apparently. Now you just do tilt. And this is, again, Paul Harris's idea. Sign card, basically tilt's easy because you've got heads of nails. Okay? Go second from the top, square it in. And you're going to lift up these two as you wrist kill. So you wrist kill and you show, and you put it right in someone's face. There's your sign card. Come back down. Take off the top card, really the indifferent card, slip it in the middle again, snap your fingers, lift it up as before, but now you don't have to wrist kill. Show it. Okay? Now you can do this again and again several times. And again, put it in the middle of the deck. In the middle of the deck it goes. Snap your fingers, wrist kill. Take it, put it second from the top, put it underneath again, snap. Boom. Now, this ending's the cool part, where you can take the single card, put it on top of the other indifferent card, and say, the amazing thing is not so much that we keep coming to the top, but that we can even put it in the middle. Lift off the top 2 cards as one, and people just freak out. I mean, there's no explanation. Don't be worried about this other card. It's not like one other card's going to make that happen. You can go south, put this in your pocket, and then on changing your mind, take it back out of your pocket, say, boom, and leaving the other card behind. This image. You can talk about, you can practice for 20 years in magic, you can work on all your fancy stuff. This image is precisely the kind of thing lay people really eat up.
Well, there you have it, the world's best card trick lecture. Man, I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you had a pizza or a sandwich or having a drink or whatever while sitting back with a pack of cards. And just, for me to be able to share my passion for card magic with people who share my passion as well, it's just a dream. So thank you so much. Hope you really got a lot of value out of it. This will only be available for a couple of days, okay? It's only up online. So if there's stuff you really enjoyed here, definitely watch it again very soon. And do not forget about the amazing pack. I'll leave a link down here. We'll put a link on the end here. $95 value. A whole bunch of free stuff on top of everything. The extremely ambitious pack. It's all there. Do not wait. If it's the kind of thing that interests you, definitely click the button and check it out. Stay safe. Thank you so much.